Chapter 7. The parade's shadow the French Quarter roared with the delirium of Mardi Gras, its streets choked with a sea of masked revelers under a star-strewn sky. On Canal Street, a parade surged like a living beast, its floats towering over the crowd, gilded chariots, papier-mâché peacocks, and a skeletal jester that leered with hollow eyes. Brass bands blared, their trumpets and tubas dueling with the shouts of crews tossing beads and doubloons. The air was electric, thick with the scents of roasted pecans, spilled rum, and the faint sulfur of firecrackers. In the chaos, secrets moved unseen, and Celeste Moreau was hunting one. She pushed through the throng, her cloche hat askew, her notebook tucked inside her coat. The amulet from Madame Zora hung heavy at her throat, a quiet reminder of the dark ritual tied to the Crescent Moon murders. Henri Levine and Edgar Thibodeau, both elite, both masked, both dead. Celeste's article on the killings was due tomorrow, but her editor wanted fluff about parades, not blood. She'd ignored him, chasing a name whispered by a society matron at the Times-Picayune office. Vincent Devereaux, a tycoon whose fortune rose from shipping and whose charm masked a sharper edge. His cruise float was in tonight's parade, and Celeste smelled a story. The float loomed ahead, a spectacle of opulence sponsored by Devereaux's Crescent City imports. It was a pirate ship, its prow carved with a snarling mermaid, its sails draped in purple silk that shimmered under torchlight. Masked crew members in velvet coats tossed gold-painted coins, their laughter sharp. At the float's helm stood Vincent Devereaux himself, a tall figure in a black domino mask, his tailored suit accentuating a lean, predatory grace. At 40, he was New Orleans' golden sun, his dark hair slicked back, his smile a blade that cut through the crowd's adoration. Celeste edged closer, her green eyes scanning him. She'd seen his name in the society pages, philanthropist, bachelor, a fixture at masked balls like Comus and the Cabildo, where the victims had danced. But there was something else, a whisper from a dockworker she'd bribed. Devereaux's ships carried more than sugar and cotton. Bootleg liquor, maybe, or something darker. "Mr. Devereaux," she called, her voice cutting through the parade's din. She waved her press pass, dodging a drunk reveler to reach the float's edge. "Celeste Moreau, Times-Picayune. A word about your crew." Devereaux's gaze locked onto her, his blue eyes glinting behind the mask. He leaned over the railing, his smile disarmingly warm. "A bold one, aren't you, Miss Moreau? Most reporters wait for an invitation." His voice was smooth, laced with a Creole lilt, but it carried an undercurrent of steel. Celeste matched his smile, undeterred. "Invitations are overrated. Your float's the talk of Mardi Gras, but I'm more curious about your business. Crescent City imports, big player, big secrets. Care to share?" The crowd roared as a firecracker popped nearby, but Devereaux's composure didn't falter. He descended a small ladder to the street, his movements fluid, and stood close enough for Celeste to catch the scent of his cologne, sandalwood, edged with something bitter. "Secrets," he said, his tone teasing. "I'm an open book, Miss Moreau. Shipping's a dull trade, crates, contracts, customs. Nothing to rival your flair for headlines." She tilted her head, her pencil poised over her notebook. "Dull trades don't get men like Henri Levine or Edgar Thibodeau killed. They were at your balls, your circles. And those Crescent Moon masks sound familiar?" For a fraction of a second, Devereaux's smile tightened, his eyes narrowing like a predator sizing up prey. Then he laughed, a sound that didn't reach his eyes. "You're fishing, Miss Moreau, and in dangerous waters. Mardi Gras is full of masks, some prettier than others. As for Levine and Thibodeau, tragic losses, but I'm no detective. That's Dubois' job, isn't it?" Celeste's pulse quickened. He knew Julian's name, too quickly, too casually. She pressed on, her voice steady. "Maybe. But I hear whispers, Mr. Devereaux. Whispers about an order, about moons and blood. You're a man who hears things too, aren't you?" Devereaux stepped closer, his shadow falling over her. The parade's chaos seemed to fade, the air between them charged. "Whispers are cheap, Miss Moreau," he said softly. "Truth is costly. Be careful what you chase, or you might find it." He slipped a gold coin from his pocket, pressing it into her hand, a crew token, stamped with a crescent moon. "A souvenir. Keep it close." Before she could respond, he turned, climbing back to the float as the band struck up a new tune. The crowd surged, swallowing Celeste in a wave of feathers and sequins. She clutched the coin, its edges biting into her palm, her heart racing. Devereaux was hiding something, his deflection, his knowledge of Julian, that fleeting crack in his charm. The crescent moon on the coin wasn't proof, but it was a thread, and Celeste was determined to pull it. As the float rolled on, its mermaid glaring into the night, Celeste slipped into the crowd, her notebook burning with questions. The parade's shadow hid more than revelry, and Vincent Devereaux was at its heart.